books about outsiders and alienated loners. Herman Hesse book. We're all here. That's great to see you all. The idea of the Mark of Cain came up there, and I think it was in the final year of university actually. And it was just a matter of finding the right people to play. And I thought of a guy who I'd yelled at many times to pick up a 4-string bass and play while I was practicing, and that ended up being Kim. Good choice as well. And we had numerous drummers throughout the years. And in fact, in the first lineup, we had a singer before me, Rod Archer from the Iron Sheiks, and Rod put in a good couple of years there for us, and then he went on to Iron Sheiks, and we became a 3-piece. Many drummers. I guess we wore some out, some didn't work out, and we just found that I think we've had 11 so far. You're the 11th, you're still here. Thank you, Eli. Doing a great job. Yeah. Filling US size 14 shoes, I think, but you're doing a great job, and we appreciate it. You're doing a damn great job. And how many albums? 5, I believe. I don't count them, but there's 5 full-length ones and some assortments there. And most memorable moment for us, I would say, was that big day out back in the day, 1995 to 25,000 with our hometown brethren. Was really, really good. Just seeing that sea of Adelaide faces out there. Very, very sweet moment. I think I've answered them all.
Yeah, you have. What brought you to resist moving interstate or even overseas? I read in your bio that I'm a proud Adelaidean as well. I'm sure we all are, most of us. But what made you stay in Adelaide? I think you recorded all your albums here as well. What was the motivation for that, for not doing what everyone else was doing?
I think that's mainly, I don't know, just dogged perseverance. We just didn't think we needed to. I think it was a bit of the punk, do-it-yourself work ethic. I think if you cast your eyes thinking you have to move to Sydney or Melbourne, and what are you chasing? You can do what you need to here. No compromise. That was always our idea too, is just like no bullshit, no compromise. Do it in Adelaide. And I always tell the story, people go, where are you from? We say, well, from Adelaide. They go, well, Adelaide? But what good bands come from there? And it's like, well, we're fucking from there. I like to say that, at some point, maybe we helped drag some of the spotlight on Adelaide, and there were a lot of bands, in the 90s that were discovered here that went on to great fame, and probably more than what we have achieved. But again, we're very, very pleased and honoured to be asked, inducted as a band into the Hall of Fame.
I've got to tell you that how it works is that people nominate via the website. The person that nominated the Mark of Cain was Travis Tigrani, another fellow Adelaide drummer who plays for Super Jesus. Eli would know him. So thanks to Travis, but I mean, he would have been inducted eventually. And the nomination goes, that wasn't meant to be funny actually. What happens eventually, everyone gets inducted, it deserves it, that is, but the peer group panel, which is made up of existing inductees, then not me, then vote on that. And I have to tell you, I've got a time limit here, that when your nomination came up, it was more or less just like, well, yeah, of course. It was one of those. I think we all you would imagine that would be the case, because you've been around forever, and I'm probably even older than you. I actually remember Mark of Cain. But there is one other thing that I wanted to say, which wasn't going to be part of my original speech or plan, but I want to actually put it to all of you. Not that we can do it here, because it has to go through due diligence. In other words, it has to go through a peer group panel, has to be nominated. So the band is being inducted. The Mark of Cain is being inducted as a band, and that represents everyone that's been involved all these years, but predominantly, obviously, John and Kim, who've been there from the start. Having read their story, they themselves as individuals have not been nominated into the Hall of Fame for induction as an individual. So they are the 21st band, but there's about 135 people who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Could be Glenn Shorey, could be John Bruce from the Angels. There's a big long list. Peter Darwin, who's going to come up in a minute, who's inducted as well. But I'm thinking that, and I don't want to get too many emails, but if you want to go to the website, SA Music Hall of Fame. It comes up. There's an induction criteria. Fill it out, and I think they are very deserving. I mean, it's a bit of a rhetorical statement that both John and Kim should be inducted as individuals. No, don't clap yet. And I can't give them this because it hasn't been ratified. But I want to one day, in this role of Director of the Hall of Fame, be able to present both of them a plaque, well, not a plaque, a medallion like this, which is a beautiful medallion, with their names inscribed on it, one each. So if some of you would like to make the effort to nominate them via the website, I think that both John and Kim are very deserving. At some point, they'll be given one of these, I'm sure of it. If I did it now, I'd be crucified.
Stangle the carrot.
At this point, I want to induct a friend of the band's and John and Kim's, Peter Darwin, who is an inductee. I'm actually going to induct him, and he's going to present them the plaque and then make a quick speech about his dealings with the Mark of Cain. Thank you. So I've just been told to wear cloth, so I'll be back in a minute. Peter Darwin.
People, I'm just going to say one thing very, very quickly. I was extremely privileged for a number of years to run a little venue called Fowler's Live down the road. And, well, particularly my wife ran most of it all the time. I just sat in the office and sent a few emails. But these two or three gentlemen here, although I was a slightly different third gentleman, probably over the 15 years that we had Fowler's Live, two of the most outstanding gigs ever was the Mark of Cain, and I'm sure that looking at the faces here, a few of you were there, and a few kids and sons and daughters. It was 42 degrees outside, it was 54 degrees inside the venue. We got very, very close to running out of booze, unsurprisingly, but the thing that really, really scared me was that I also got very, very close to breaking John Stanier's leg, because at the back of our stage were trapdoors where we had the winches for the lighting bars, and unfortunately one of the trapdoors hadn't been quite put back into place. John jumped up through one of the songs and half disappeared down the stage. I was absolutely fucked for a few minutes, thinking, here we go. Tim Pittman's going to absolutely crucify me. But beside all of that, I really can't express how nice it is to be here to present these guys this plaque for their outstanding contribution to music, and in particular from Adelaide. So thank you very much.
So, with the power vested in me, I formally induct the Mark of Cain into the South Australian Music Hall of Fame.
Thanks so much for the recognition, and thanks everyone for coming out tonight to support this. And I guess we better not fuck up tonight. So,
thank you very much, everyone.